And welcome to Saturday, December 16th live stream. This is Poppy's Workshop, and this is going to be a fairly quick video as I'm going to be working on the, what am I working on? The Noah's Ark. So I've got a few double stacks to make here for some of the animals, and this is for the softer woods that I'm working with. So let me spray this here, little activator. Yeah, you gotta like this activator stuff. It just makes things so much easier. You'll have to pardon the lighting on the bench. I'm using a webcam right now, and the sun is coming through. Let's see if I can get my hand in here. The sun is, you can see it on the back of my hand, coming through a window. This particular webcam does not do lighting very well. It does not adjust things very well. So needless to say, let me figure out where I'm going to put my points here. I think I'm only going to go 3. And I got to use very little, so when it spreads out, it doesn't get into my actual piece. So I actually have something coming in tomorrow that I can hook up another camera to. It's basically HDMI to USB. I found an old camera that on another project that I worked for when a Lockheed Martin was quote-unquote renting me out or using me. I had a contract with them when I was working with Leidos to do some training, so they wanted me to be able to do some filming and everything like that. So I had the camera, and it's actually been sitting for, let's see, I've been at NATO 6, about between 6, just over 6 years, no, close to 7 years that it's been sitting there. So I'm going to use that. You know, it's not the super fancy stuff, but you know, it is what it is. It takes pictures much better than this. So let's do this. Let's move over to the scroll saw. There we go. And we're going to start cutting out the animals. And I'm going to start with some of the easier cuts before I move to some of the stack cutting and some of the harder woods. So I'm trying to remember this. I think I accidentally called this lace wood, but this is I'm sorry, I accidentally called it zebra wood, I think, but this is lace wood. And I'm trying to remember the Janka on that. I think it's close to 1,500, so let's do this. I am going to get this out of the way. I'm going to call up the wood here. I don't know if we can see that. So let's see, we want lace wood. There it is. Based on the price, I'm gonna, I've learned, you look at the price, I'm gonna say it's gonna be around 1,200 to 1,500 Janka. So let's see, am I close? Oh, only 710. So lace wood is 710, which I find to be a very easy wood to cut, where you look at, well, this came from a different place, so they don't have it on this site, is the bird's eye maple. I find that to be actually very easy to cut. So let's do this. Let's cut out old Mr. Noah. And I'm going to try it. Oh, I'm trying to think if I want the vacuum or not. I'm going to try it without the vacuum first. And then if I do, I'll let you know. Because what I do is I actually cut off the mic pack. And let me get my foot pedal into position. I've got to mount that permanently one of these days. Okay, let's start cutting. Oh, got to get my speed up. I'm using a number 7 Flying Dutchman Ultra Reverse for this cut. And I notice it doesn't like to really rip. Oh, let me get this out of the way. Wait a second. I'm trying to get things adjusted here. Make sure that you can see. All right. I'm hearing some noise here I'm not liking. I think I may need to speed this up more. Now, when I go to the higher Janka wood, such as bloodwood, purple, and yellow heart, we're talking of going into the 2000, and I forgot which one is 2500. So that's a really hard cut in terms of dulling blades and scorching and everything like that. Now, funny thing is, I was using a number 10 Pegasus blade to rip some of my pieces, like the bloodwood and the purple heart, and I saw the scrap purple heart that I had, and it was, let me speed that up a little bit, and it was scorched pretty bad from a previous project I was working on that was long cuts. And I decided, well, I got this dull blade here, number 10, which I did not use for that previous cut. And the number 10 went through very well. I find it to be very aggressive, which is good for those harder woods. And you just focus on this. And I was able to cut it without any scorching. It went through relatively quickly. Yeah, that's loud when you're ripping. And I have my microphone down a little bit lower than I usually do. I'm trying to get better sound from it. Now let's go to a cross cut. Across the grain. Well, this is my first day of my holiday leave from NATO. I'm going to take 2 weeks this year, which is very unusual for me. I think the last time I took 2 weeks is when my eldest daughter got married about 11 years ago, and it was a wedding cruise on the, I think it was the Disney Wonder. But yeah, I really like bird's eye maple. It just has some rich colors and patterns and those little bird's eye dots. But it is a hard wood. Based on the cutting, I'd say probably in the 1200 range, maybe a little bit higher than that. It's a very dry wood. I can hear the blade working. I can smell it. That's for sure. And we're just about done here. Home stretch. There we go. All right. Let's get Mr. Noah out of there. And we can look from behind here. Let me get this light up. There we go. And we'll zoom out. Okay. So here is Mr. Noah. Here's the back side. You can see some of my pencil marks from other projects. I try to save as much wood as possible, but looking, I love the way this wood cuts with the Flying Dutchman. It's just, gosh, that is so smooth, shiny. I mean, that does not require any sanding. What I'm going to do is I'm going to profile all the edges, front and back, so that it's a little bit safer for kids' hands. So that's about 3 inches, something that a young child will not be able to swallow. So that's that. Let's take a look and let's cut out an elephant. Let's get that blade back down. All right, let's zoom you in here. A little pivot. There we go. All right. Let's get this down. Let me take a look. Actually, I think I'm going to start closer. And I think I'm going to come in at an angle here, start my turn, and then work around so that I can finish easily. Okay. And there we go. So this particular Noah's Ark, the Ark itself will be curly maple. Boy, that's loud. And then I'm actually up to a total of 12 different species of wood for all the animals and, of course, Mr. Noah and his wife Joan. And you'll note that I do slow down on the corners, on the turns, especially the sharper ones like the tail. Yeah, this cut's pretty nice. I bet those folk who like the Pegasus blades would really like how the Pegasus cuts. So that's, one of the trade-offs you make. Go for something a little bit more aggressive, but, you'll have a little bit of afterwork, no big deal. Or something that finishes really smooth. Let me give myself a rest for a second here. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta give yourself a rest, see where the blade's going to be. Now again, I repeat this a lot, is I'm not a production shop. So cranking out pieces where every minute counts. Is not a worry of mine. So you'll hear that I pull back a little bit so I can nibble away at these turns so they stay smooth and true. The lace wood is pretty funky because of the type of grain that it has. It's all over the place. So you don't know if you're cross-cutting or ripping at any given time. Whoop, I let go of that one. What's nice about these pieces is they don't have to be super perfect. So you're going to be sanding and profiling. Boy, that's noisy. That's chattering. Let me get that a little bit closer here. Let's see, am I in the way that you can't see? All right, let me back up a little bit. Let me see where I'm at. Okay. I actually think this lace wood is a little bit warped. Oh, that's a much nicer cut there. So I guess this is a cross. Let's see if it gets noisy after this turn. Yeah, there's a noise. So I'm going to lighten up, pull back just a little bit so I can stay on the line. For newer scrollers, actually, I'm thinking this would be a nice little project because the arc itself, there's a lot of straight lines, and if you prefer not to use a table saw or a bandsaw or something to do the straight lines, and you want to do it on the scroll saw like I do, it's a good exercise for learning how to control your blade on the straights. And then you have the animals and the noise that this elephant is making. Wait a sec. Yeah. So an example is, yeah, see that's warped. That's part of my problem here. All right, let's get you out. Get you out. There we go. I think I'm going to do you a little bit later here. I'll put you here. So let's take a look at the elephant. A little bit more. Let's zoom out. A little bit more fuzzies here, but not too bad. But again, the edge is super, super smooth. Yeah. And that's what it will look like with the lacewood pattern. But if you look, these are nice, smooth turns, nothing really super tight. So for a newbie, this would actually be a very good project to do. And I'm trying to remember who I got this from. Let me take a look on the, I can't see it from here, too far away. I think it's toymaker.com. I'm not sure, but I'll put it in the comments below or in the description, and we'll see what that is. All right, so we did that. Let's see a different type. All right, let's do a real easy one. Hold your ears, I got a cough. Excuse me. The disadvantage of not using the vacuum. But I am going to use the vacuum on this one because aspen, which I believe this is, creates a lot of dust. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off my mic pack, if I can find my mic pack, and then turn on the vacuum. So off goes the sound, and then I better get my hearing protection handy and kind of go from there. All right, I'll be back after we do this simple cut. And I'm back. Let me get my hearing protection off, and I can talk to you normally now. So what you would have noticed right off the bat after I got partway through is that my blade let loose, and no big deal. And I decided at that point, I'm looking, let me zoom out here. Excuse me. The blade itself looks okay, so I think it just slipped out of the chuck. I guess I should have checked it again because I was running at such a high speed. So this blade still looks good. I'll use it for a softer wood, put it in to use again. So here was the stack cut of the doves. And I had switched to the number 10 Pegasus, and the cutting difference was quite astounding. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and maybe do the other elephant here and compare how the lace wood cuts with the number 10 instead of the number 7. But I could definitely feel and hear the difference. So let's do that. Let me dial this down a little bit. And we'll do it without the vacuum right now. And see how that goes. All right. You know what I'm going to do? Let me check the chucks. Okay. Always stop and check them once in a while. Yep, we got to get you in there. Let's get you back a little bit. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see my cut. There we go. Okay, let's go. Yeah, this number 10 is a champion. Very aggressive cut, but nothing that you can't control. All right, I'm stuck on something here. Wait a sec. There we go. The blade's not struggling as much as the Flying Dutchman. Yeah, I'm going to go off this line. I'm having trouble here. I'm feeling something weird. I think part of it is because this board is warped. You can see that. So I'm going to try and keep pressure on the front. A little bit tricky. Yeah, this is, I feel it catching. I'm going to speed this up a little bit here. You know, I don't know. I feel it taking bigger chunks, but that's a correct term. I'm going off the line for sure, trying to compensate it back on. yeah, for these cuts, it's very nice. The thicker blade doesn't like the tighter turns, so we could have actually done a cutaway and nibble or something like that to make those turns easier. I'm trying to see and plan how I'm going to make this turning cut. Thinking, okay, do I slow down a little bit, let it nibble, turn back up a little bit, you know. There we go. And this is 1/2-inch wood. All the wood I'm using is 1/2 inch. With the exception of the roofs of Noah's Ark, they will be 1/4 inch. I'm trying to be conscious as I'm cutting to make sure that I don't obstruct your view too much. If I remember when I got this lace wood, it was part of the a cast-off box that you could get from Uchu Hardwoods. So you don't get the full size, you know, they're just cutaways, so that's the chance you take. And in this case, yeah, it's a little bit warped, but being that I'm making small pieces, it shouldn't be that bad. All right, home stretch. There we go. You get that final little turn in there. There we go. All right, let's see what Mr. Elephant looks like. Get you zoomed back out. There we go. All right, let's compare the two. In terms of cuts, actually similar. Still has the same type of fuzzies, because again, it's a dry wood, and looking at, yeah, that feels about the same. The Pegasus is just a hair rougher, but not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay, so let's see what else we can do here. Now that we got that one, I'm not sure I want to do some more stack cutting without the vacuum, so we'll just kind of go from there. But I don't want to get into the harder woods. All right, I think this is, what is this? Black Limba. Okay, we got a little Black Limba going on here. A little bit tighter cut here and here just a little bit. So I think I'll start there. I try and start with a short distance so I'm not wasting a lot of movement and cutting time. Oh, that is out of focus. There we go. Okay. Let's get some light, camera, and action. Let's see how... Oh, yeah. Ooh, that cuts nice. That black limbo does cut nice. I think I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Give myself a little bit more control. Now, there's some folk who run their saws at full speed all the time. I tend to like to go slower in the speed, both in how I cut but I try and match the speed to what I'm doing. Yep, I'm off a little bit here. Let me back up. Didn't pay attention. There we go. Yeah, the number 10 doesn't like to turn as readily as my go-to number 5 or the number 7. I can see why people like the Pegasus blades. They're sharp. They seem to last a long time. You know, as I tell people, with blades, go get yourself a variety pack. I forgot where I got it from, but it had Pegasus, Nequa, and of course Flying Dutchman, which is Nequa. Let me pay attention here for a sec. I'll let the blade do the work as I slowly nibble this turn, which seems to work better for these thicker blades. Yeah, see how that jumps? There we go. But get yourself a variety pack of those. Different manufacturers, different sizes. Try each one. Try different blades on the same wood. Similar things like we're doing here, like we did on the lace wood. Yeah, see, that's jumping. That's the one thing I don't like. You can see how that nibble is way big, and I do not like that. That's a mix of the thickness of the blade, type of blade. And I think this is the modified. So it has a couple teeth that are pointing up instead of pointing down, which helps clean out your cut. Modified geometry. Oh, all that dust is getting on the floor. I keep a really clean shop, but that's because I got the vacuums running all the time. But with the filming, of course, you can't do that. All right. Home stretch. He's rounding third. It's in the dirt. The play at the plate. He's safe. No, wait. He's out. There we go. Open that up. Get out. Zoom you out. There we go. Okay, get the light up. So, yeah, got a little bit of fuzzies and everything. But there's our, excuse me. Yeah, I should be wearing a mask. There's our rhinoceros. Number 1. So there you go. All right. Let's do a quick switch over to the workbench. I know the picture's not going to be quite as nice, but got things lined up, ready to go. And what we've already cut out here, we got the elephants. We've got the doves. Got one, whoop, there he is. One rhinoceros, or is that rhinoceri? And then, of course, we have Mr. Noah. So I think, yeah, we've got everything that needs to be double stacked. Stack cut is there. Let me move you over, don't need that. This is the lion, which will be the yellow heart. And the real heavy hitter, man, you can feel the weight difference. Hippo will be purple. Giraffes will be the bloodwood. So that, and then I added, what was this? Wenge. So here we have the alligators, which I added. So that will be the wenge, which is a pretty hard wood, but when I ripped it, it wasn't that bad. So let's, that's what's up on deck to be cut. We'll go back to the scroll saw here. My next cut will be getting Mr. Rhinoceros number 2 out. And that's pretty much it for this live for Saturday. I'm not sure if I'm going to be going live tomorrow or not. Possibility, see where I'm at with things. But you never know. Right now, things are still pretty random. And getting used to this. I do have that other part coming in. So I may put off doing the live till either later in the day or what have you. And as you can tell, I'm wearing my heavy Sherpa sweat jacket. It's 30 degrees outside, which for Virginia Beach is cold. And my shop, I just have a very small heater. I've been trying to just take the edge off. So there you go. That's a little bit of cutting for today for the live vlog. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you got to come back and watch this video after, I'm going to do a little sound editing where I shut the microphone off that one time. I'll put some music behind it and maybe lower the levels if I have to on the other. But anyway, that's it for today. May the Lord richly bless you. Make it a great day right here in Poppy's Workshop.